Hello ladies and gentlemen, Tabiau Pulatu Siwa saya namai 5 saya namai. We are from group 6 and then the member of group 6 are Muhammad Randi, Jehan Kabila Pawai, Mutia Kabakoran, Jordi Marwanaya, Nonilat Bual, Lela Salih Nur Hadi, and Jainab Saliu. And then today we are going to talking about the local culture from Maluku, especially Tamilouw village. But before, we are going to talking about the 8 topics. The first one is the background of Tamilouw, tradition of Tamilouw, food of Tamilouw, language of Tamilouw, religion, history, lifestyle, and traditional house. So, the first is about Tamilouw background. Tamilouw village has a 5 village. The first one is Ampera, Yahalatan, Tohai, Lateri, and Meu. This village lies to the south of the island of Seram, in just the middle of Seram Island, about 14 kilometers east of the town of Masoi. The village of Tamilouw has close ties with the village of Hotumuri and Sirisori on the island of Saparua. Tamilouw has an icon, the icon called Hatumari. Why they can Hatumari as called the icon? Because the place they did the traditional custom, like they took the vows of the 3 brothers, which is to keep them from helping each other. So the 3 brothers are Hotumuri village, Sirisori village, and Tamilouw village. So Tamilouw village as other village are unique, both geographic and social, culture and political circumstance. The village of Tamilouw its admonition include the Ampera or Naman Lalin and village Yalahatan or Namanan village, and the Lateri village, the last and some small village. Over the years, it will remain a village of custom that honors and preserves the roles of social, culture, economic, and political life according to traditionally followed by their people. And then the village of Tamilouw is surrounded by streams of both great and small, and a forest of forested mountain and industrial plants and plants. Additionally, the lot of the forest includes a public auction area that is predominantly dominated by cloves, nutmeg, and coconut plants next to it. A beautiful beach panoramic view coconut surround the coast of the Tamilouw village. Admonition knocks for a pleasant coastal resort. By visiting Tamilouw, you must have had much inspiration to want to develop the village Tamilouw, which is economically necessary and needs to be developed.
The second point is about tradition. If you talk about tradition, there are many traditions in Indonesia and also in other countries. All of you guys certainly have a tradition in your village. If you come from your village and visit to another people's village, you can see a lot of tradition the people have. But today I will talk about one of village in Indonesia, especially in Maluku area. That is Tamilouw village. There are 3 traditions in Tamilouw village. They have in between visiting relative graves during the 26-day fast, traditional house cleaning every year, and Hadrat in Eid Adha. For visiting relative graves, doesn't certain time to people in Tamilouw to visit their relative graves, but usually a lot of them visit at their relative graves during 26 in Eid Mubarak. Same and another people if they visit their relative graves, people in Tamilouw village will cleaning the graves before prayed their relative dead was passed away. The second is traditional house cleaning every year. In Tamilouw, the people must to clean the traditional house to do the traditional as a legacy they have. The people will clean up together. The traditional house usually consists of men and women who prepare food to eat together. And the last is Hadrat in Eid Adha. Every Eid Adha, the people in Tamilouw also do the tradition Hadrat, which is actually done by all Muslim Indonesia, because the people in Tamilouw village that are majority of Islam. You can see a lot of people singing on the street. They walk along the road, holding the animals that were to be taken to the mosque for sacrifice.
Well, thank you very much, moderator, for the time. Now I'm going to explain about the traditional food and the language that the society of Tamilouw village is used. Um, for the first, let me begin with the traditional food of Tamilouw village. As we know that almost all areas in eastern of Indonesia, like in Papua, Maluku, and others, become sagu as their staple food. Initially, the staple food of Tamilouw village was sagu too, but as time ran, uh, the staple food of Tamilouw village is changes as rice, while sagu is called as special food. As a respondent, Mr. Abdurrahman said that why sagu said to be special food, because nowadays when we want to eat sagu, we have to buy it on a traditional market or others. It's not like in the past. When we open the lid, we will find the sagu as our staple food on the table. But now there are some difficult food that the society of Tamilouw village still make it for become their breakfast or in their lunchtime. You can see in the PowerPoint there are three kinds of typical food that the society still make. For the first is there is sinoli, the second one is sagu gula, and the last one is leve. And the basic or the main ingredients of those typical food is from sagu. The next one is about the language used in Tamilouw village. Initially, the language used by the Tamilouw village was the local language of Tamilouw village, which was inherited from generation to generation by ancestors, with the purpose of making the local language become means of communication between fellow communities. As far as time ran, local language are rarely used to communicate, even though young generation today feel difficult to speak using local language, and also the meaning of regional language is not understood by young generation. From this problem, it's turned out that there are several factors that uh, trigger the decline of using the regional language. The first one is of course parents, and the second one is environment, the third one is school, and the last one is lack of interest in learning a local language.
Religions. Tamilouw village consists of 5 homes, namely that is Ampera, Yah Equipment, Lateri, Tohai, and Mil. 80% them are Muslim, 70% population native population, 10% heterogenic ethnic, Bugis, Buton, K, and Java, 10% Catholic, and 10% Protestant. So in Tamilouw village, there are three religions that have been mentioned before. Not only Muslim, but other religions as well. Even though they are different religions, their life never have any problems.
Okay, thank you. Now I'm going to present a short history about Tamilouw, Pelagandong. Um, the history is the story of the agreement of three village brothers, namely Tamilouw on Seram Island, Hutumuri on Ambon Island, and Sirisori in Saparua, Central Maluku Regency. In those agreement, both the village promise that they must help each other wherever they are. Maybe they are in danger or something. For example, like when Tamilouw in danger, they can call Hutumuri to help them. And also Sirisori or Hutumuri when they are in danger also, so they can call Tamilouw to help them too. And also they cannot marry each other because they are already thought that they are brothers and sisters, so they cannot marry each other. If not, catastrophe will occur, and it is still the belief that has been trusted by residents of the three villages until now. So the society still believe it is a sacred agreement, and it became a history that must be inherited from generation to generation. So that's all for me. Thank you. Next.
Okay, so for now, I'm going to talk about the lifestyle of the people who live in Tamilouw village. Okay, so based on information that we found, the people who live in Tamilouw village, they live in a modern lifestyle, just like the people who live in the city, in the big city like Ambon and etc. Because, for example, uh, even though they live in village and if they have something to sell, like maybe a business or something like that, they will do it via online. And for the second part, why we said that they live in a modern lifestyle is because when they want to communicate with other people who live far from them, they will use social platforms like WhatsApp, for example. And if they want to share information, they will also use the same platform or other social media platform like Facebook and etc. Thank you.
Home traditional country Tamilouw. Baileo home was traditional house Maluku and Northern Maluku. Baileo home is a representation of culture and has a function that is essential to people's lives. Baileo home is identity of every country in Maluku beside mouse or carcass. Baileo home serve as a repository of sacred object, costume, and also as a citizen hall. Baileo floors were made high because it was believed that the spirit of the ancestor head of society
establishment and let the public know the competition going on in the hall.
So that's all from us. Thank you. Syukur Elayala.